surveys ask the question all different ways, but generally somewhere close to half of Americans, even those of higher income, big percents of people with higher income, cannot cover a theoretical $400 unexpected expense. Sudden visit to a doctor not covered by insurance, or a problem with your vehicle, or the water heater goes out at your house, whatever it is, we're living so tight that we can't afford the unexpected. But the unexpected always happens. You cannot price life for perfection. And I'm very worried about how this mentality has taken hold to use a 401k as just this piggy bank, that the 401k becomes the thing you go to grab money when you need to do a repair of some kind. And it's funny because people will call me and they'll ask me a question, or we'll have one on the podcast from someone who's like, is this an exception to your 401k rule about not borrowing from a 401k? And it's really hard for me to ever say that it is a reasonable exception to borrow that money from the 401k. Because you can't look at things just in isolation. What does it do to your long-term financial independence and trajectory when you pull that money out of a retirement account? At the same time, what do most people do when they have an unexpected expense? If they have it, they pull out a credit card and they charge it at an interest rate that typically is going to be close to 20%. And then for every dollar you borrowed, you're paying back the equivalent of $1.20 if you get it paid off in a year. It's not great either. I mean, these are tough issues. So it's why I have my obsession with having from every paycheck some money, any amount of money, go into a savings account, that you do a split deposit. There's not a payroll service out there that doesn't have the capability of taking part of your paycheck and putting it in your checking account, and part of it and putting in a savings account. And most of them will allow you to put money in two different places from that paycheck, because you want the money in a high interest earning online savings account instead of with a traditional bank, because traditional banks pay like nothing on your savings. And I've got my 1 cent rule. I invented it. No. Anyway, the 1 cent rule is that if you feel like you can never save a penny, that you just can't do it, start with 1 penny of every dollar you're getting from your paycheck. And 1 penny of each dollar goes into that savings account. And the whole idea is to create that habit of diversion into savings, to start building it up so that when the rainy day comes, you've got that money to draw on. And yeah, the penny of every dollar you make may not build up enough over time to pay for whatever the oops is, but it will certainly defray part of the cost of whatever the oops is. And you're creating a new habit in your life. Because the alternatives, it's like, do you want me to jump in a fire pit, or do you want me to go into a line of people with machetes? I mean, that's the thing that I'm presented so often with, is this thing like, well, something terrible is going to happen to me. Which terrible thing should I do? Right? Mm-hmm. So you want to avoid the fire pit and the machetes by saving money regularly And then you don't even have to worry about that question.